Hey guys, Lance VanZandt with VanZandt Controls here. I want to show you guys something that we stock, do a lot of for gas injection, rate control, gas lift. So we have a lot of different variations of gas lift valves, automated valves that we can provide. A lot of different options on that. We want to show you one that we do that is the most common, what we sell the most of. We've got these valves in 1-inch and 2-inch threaded or flanged. The most common is 2-inch 600 class flanged. But this right here is Taylor choke control valve, gas rate control valve. But we've got these valves in stock in a lot of different variations. We keep them without an actuator, so we can put any actuator you guys want on there, pneumatic, electric, whatever brand. But we also stock full complete packages. So one of the packages we stock is with a ValveCon. So ValveCon, as a lot of you guys know, I don't know if you know this, but we're actually the largest ValveCon distributor in the world. But ValveCons are really great because they're really universal. You can put 12 volt DC, 24 volt DC, 120 volt AC, or 220 volt AC, the same actuator. It's got a lithium ion battery in it, which makes it, you can make it fail it open, fail it close, or mid position. So if you lose power completely, you can have it fail the mid position and still control your gas rate. But it's got an override, it's got a 4 to 20 input. It'll give you a 4 to 20 feedback. It's got a couple micro switches inside so you can get fully closed feedback. But it's just so great. It has a heater and thermostat, so we won't have to worry about condensation. It's just a great actuator. We have it with a hand wheel override, or we can plug this where there's no hand wheel. Right here, we have it with a triac. Triac is another great thing. We keep these complete assemblies in stock. Triac is power specific. You input power specific. We have them in 12 volt DC, 24 volt DC, 120 volt AC. We've got them with a modulating card in here, so you can send it a 4 to 20 signal. But these will be fell in place. So whatever rate you're at and you lose power, it's going to inject at that rate. So which is not a bad thing. But a couple different options. We can do chem rays, we can do different actuators, we can do a lot of different things for gas lift, whatever you guys want. So your discs are what are super critical. So your discs have different orifice sizes, you know, whether it's 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 3/8, different sizes, 1/2 inch. But these discs are gonna be what your restriction on how much gas you can inject, right? So whatever size discs these are gonna be orifices is how much gas that you can put down hole at whatever pressure you're injecting at. So these discs are crucial. We keep these discs in a lot of different sizes. We change them here depending on how much gas you're gonna inject, but they're very easy to change out. So here's a set of discs. And mainly we do these for gas rate control, gas lift, but we also can provide these valves in stainless if you wanted to do them for back pressure control for a pump or for produced water. But these ones are for gas lift. They're carbon steel. But that's the disc. This valve's to change out the disc. So say you're injecting, 500, 1,000 a day or whatever. So you're injecting that, but you want to go to 1 million, or you want to change what your rate is. It's easy to make those changes. Super easy. All you do is you're going to unbolt, take your actuator off first and your vacuum coupler, but you're going to take off these bolts on the top of this flange here. And if you notice, there's 2 wrench flats on both sides of this flange here. You're going to stick your wrench in there, or your flathead screwdriver. You're going to pry this open after you unbolt this. And this right here is going to come out. But this is your cage. One of the other reasons why this valve is so popular for gas rate control for gas lift is it has 2 stages of pressure drop. All the Taylor valves that we stock for gas rate control for gas lift have 2 stages of pressure drop. Working with customers, working with Taylor, we've realized that that's a big deal. It helps mitigate freezing issues. It helps freezing issues where you're not taking 1 pressure drop in the valve, you're splitting that up into 2. We also have special valves we can order from Taylor that have 3 stages of pressure drop if that's something that you want. We also can get these valves where we can put a hole in the center cavity where the discs are if you want to inject methanol right there. But having the 2 stages of pressure drop helps cut down on some of your methanol that you're using, or in a lot of cases it cuts on freezing completely. But your disc here, you got 2 stages of pressure drop, one here at the cage and then another at the disc. But you see the discs there. So one disc, there's 2 pins here, and one disc is stationary and will not move. It's fixed into the valve. The other disc on the bottom, which let me show you. So to take this apart, to change the disc out, there's a spring right here. You're gonna slide that over, pull that out right there, okay? Don't lose it, don't drop it in the dirt. Put it right there. So now you can take this apart, okay? So you got one disc that is fixed with pins into the cage. You've got the other disc that these 2 forks, your actuator is bolted to here, and this is what's gonna be turning to control how much gas you're injecting. So if you look inside there, you'll see the straight through holes on both sets of discs, if you can see that. But those discs are what's gonna, the larger disc, the more gas, the smaller, that's gonna control how much rate you can get out of the valve. But you just change the disc out. You'll just take a lot of whatever tool you have in your toolbox, but right here you just want to be real careful and you just want to hit right here, and then those discs will pop out. All right, and you'll set the other two discs in there, and just you can even take the back side of a flathead screwdriver and just lightly press them back in there, and then when you put this back together, it'll seal it back to where it needs to be at. But so this right here, you'll line that back up right there and there. If you notice, you'll feel it. See, feel it lock into place. And then, so you've changed the discs, and then right here, you'll just slide this back through here, and lock that back together. Try not to drop them. These are ceramic discs. If you drop them, you could chip them or break them. Like I said, we keep lots of different disc sizes in stock. We keep them readily available. But put it back together, and then there's an alignment hole. So if you notice, there's holes all around here where your bolts go. But there's one smaller hole, and if you notice on top of the valve, that's your alignment where you align this back into the valve. So you're gonna just slide that back onto here, alignment, and then you're just gonna lightly press this back down, and then there's a plate right here that tells you what position it's in. It has an alignment hole on there too. You're just gonna put that back on there. You're just gonna put your bolts back down and press it back together, put your actuator back on there, and you are ready to rock and roll. So if you guys want any literature, you need install pictures, you want any additional information, there should be a link below.